My name's Ed Krager. I'm the director of the City of Piqua's power system. Have been the director since 2009, and been working with the city in the power system previously as assistant director since 1998. So over 20 years working here. So seen quite a evolution in terms of what has gone on with our power supply over that time period. So originally the city of Piqua was served by the Dayton Power and Light Company, and the city built a competing coal-fired power plant back during the Depression to compete with Dayton Power and Light. So pretty much stayed that way over a number of years, and as the city picked up more customers, Dayton Power and Light served fewer customers. Now the city's served by just the city of Piqua. So in 1996, 2 years before I arrived, the city's coal-fired power plant was shut down due to economics. At the time, changing environmental regulations were requiring that the city install a cooling tower, which was going to raise the price of power to our customers. So management and city commission made the decision to go ahead and shut the coal plant down and start buying power on the market. Pretty much stayed that situation for several years. Like I said, I started in '98. We were buying the vast majority of our power off the market, and our whole power supply situation has kind of changed significantly over those last 20 years since I've been here. What we really want to talk about is how the city moved into renewables and green power resources, and we've seen again quite a transition from where at one time we were producing all our power at a coal plant, and then we were buying it on the market from really unknown resources. So when we take a look at how that's evolved over the last 20 or so years, we were on the market for our power until about 2007, and at that time we did have one renewable resource, the New York Power Authority allocation of hydro from two large hydro facilities at Niagara and St. Lawrence, and we basically received a small allocation of power from those hydro resources. About 2 megawatts of our 60 to 70 megawatt peak was coming from the New York Power Authority hydro allocation. The rest of the power we were purchasing on the market, and then we saw in the early 2000s into 2004, 5, 6, the economy was booming, and the prices of power on the market, which was where we were at for the vast majority of our power, started skyrocketing. And as a member of American Municipal Power, we really were in a situation we needed to get back into resources so we could provide reliable and stable and controllable pricing for our customers. Finally, with City Commission approval, we moved into long-term contracts for power supply again. So we made the decision to move into the AMP Phase 1 hydro project for a portion of our energy needs. The Smitham, Willow Island, and Candleton projects were to be built at existing lock and dams along the Ohio River. There's a series of lock and dams that are in place that are owned and operated by the Army Corps of Engineers. They're there for flood control and navigation, and so the plan was to build cofferdams on one side of these existing dams, build these hydro facilities, and then a portion of the water from the Ohio River would flow through these hydro projects and generate power. How they're able to do that, the Ohio River has a pretty broad watershed, and rain and water flows ultimately into the Ohio River, and then the flow and the difference in elevation between the upstream and the downstream side of those dams is what produces the power. In 2009, the city made the decision to move into the AMP Phase 2 hydro project, which included the Meldal project and Greenup project. And so when you subscribe to the Meldal project, you also received an allocation of the existing Greenup project that Hamilton previously owned. So the next renewable project that we actually entered into wasn't a project, it was actually a power purchase arrangement that was put together by AMP working with Iberdrola Resources. The Blue Creek wind farm was added to the portfolio. We approved the agreement in 2012, and we received 5 megawatts from that project. Phase 1 was 6 megawatts, phase 2 was hydro was 2 megawatts, and the Blue Creek wind allocation was up to 5 megawatts. This is a project that was built and constructed in Van Wert and Paulding counties. As you drive up towards Chicago, you're going to head up through the northwest part of Ohio and through Indiana. You'll see a number of wind turbines, and we have a allocation power purchase through that project for a few more years yet. So that was another renewable resource, green, renewable, sustainable resource that we added to the portfolio. And then actually the most recent one, citizens here in Piqua, business owners don't have to go far to find it, unlike the Ohio River and the Blue Creek Wind Project, New York Power Authority. We have 2 solar projects that were built and constructed right here in Piqua. So as part of this project, we were given the opportunity to bring sites to the project. We have a 1.7 megawatt fixed panel project that was built on Staunton Street. We were able to put together about 8 acres of property, working with the city school system at a previous school site that was demolished a few years before that. Purchased some additional property from a nearby business owner, and put together a project that kind of fits right in a residential industrial area, and they did a real nice job in terms of bringing that in using the city zoning standards and adding landscaping buffers, and it's been a really positive perception from the citizens in Piqua. And then secondly, we were able to bring in the Manier Solar project just last year. It's a much larger project, working with One Next Air, worked directly with property owner with over 85 acres of property, and we're able to construct on a 625 megawatt tracking system. So the tracking system follows the sun as it rises and sets, going from east to west. So it's able to produce more power. It's able to hit the peak times a little better than the fixed system, and again, that went into operation just this past summer. So with this now, these renewable resources that we have, we're exceeding over 20% of our energy requirements are being provided annually. 22 to 23% of the city's needs provided by solar, wind, and hydro resources. So as we went out and told this story to the citizens and businesses in Piqua, we've received a lot of positive feedback, and there really is no negativity surrounding these resources. They fit right into the areas. There was some concern up front, but it's been a very positive development for the city.